Hi everyone, this is Renee from Meadowlark Mystic and I'm doing my February wrap-up. I'm starting with some of the artwork that I had in February, and then I'll be moving on and showing what I've been doing for my setup for March. So this is the collage I did for February, and I've added some things since last I showed it to you. So that's why I'm showing it again. Let's see. This was the setup. It was very sparse. I just used some washi tape. It worked okay. I was tracking how I was feeling when the moon goes into different signs, and it was pretty intense. A lot of the moons I have trouble with, but then I was thinking, maybe it's not the moon, maybe it's just me, so I'm not really sure. I did try to do some color coding in terms of like my schedule. You know, Mondays I do red, Tuesdays I do purple, and that did not work. I have a tendency to resist really strict schedules like that. So I did not enjoy that. I just finished this one, was my full moon. I did it today. It's actually tomorrow, but anyway. And that was a good reading. I've already talked about that. This was an interesting, this was done on February 4th, the water moon, Scorpio water moon. And yeah, this was really a cool reading. And then this was, I kept getting the moon in readings, and then I kept also having trouble trying to figure out what the moon was trying to tell me. So I got this deck, Circle of Life. It was on my wish list, and Queen Osset was so generous and thoughtful. She gifted it to me. Let me put this here. And I've really been loving this deck. It is so fun, and oh, you can't see that. It is really awesome. I got these cards in a reading, so that's why they're coming up, because I just put them back in here. I guess you can't see it that well, but I find the images so evocative. I'll show you the reading that I got these cards in. I got so many majors. I got the Tower, the Hanged Man, Justice, the Hermit, the Magician, and the Fool. I'm so grateful that she gave me this deck, because like I said, it had been on my wish list for a long, it had been on my wish list for a long time, but for some reason I just never committed to it. But I'm so glad that she sent it to me, because it's such a great reader and I love the images. It's got a very wild, fae energy, but the readings that I get are so deep. I really appreciate how it doesn't have the same old images over and over again of the Rider-Waite-Smith. There's a lot to work with here, and I have really thoroughly enjoyed this deck. So that is the Circle of Life. I'm so glad to have it into my collection. It's actually become one of my favorite decks. So quickly. So I wanted to share that one, and I have to figure out how to get this back open. Okay, so this is one of the readings I did. What is the moon trying to communicate to me? Then, okay, so here we go. This is the beginning. This is kind of where I start to head into March. This was one of the first art pieces that I did for my March setup. This was just me kind of brainstorming what exactly, what things do bring me pleasure. And then this is the reading that I spoke about just a few moments ago, and I used the Circle of Life. It's kind of hard to tell because it kind of blends in, but so Justice, the Fool, the Emperor, the Tower, the Hanged Man, the Magician, and the Hermit. All for one reading. So yeah, that was an intense reading, but it made sense to me. Let's see. So actually this is still February, although this art piece is going to take us into March. So this was the waxing half moon on the 19th. And then this is the reading that I just recently did, the full moon. This is actually what I wanted to share. Okay, so what I've found I've been doing, and you can see it right here, but I'm gonna actually show it to you with cards, is this is the Black Moon astrology cards. Oh, it's super duper, it's super glary, isn't it? I guess I usually don't, do I not do it this time of day? Okay, so Venus is in Pisces, or Venus just recently moved into Pisces. No, that's not gonna work. I don't know that much about astrology, so that's why I got this deck, which is this one, the Radiant Moon. And so I've been using these cards to learn more about the different, when a planet is in a certain sign. So when Venus is in Pisces, for this deck, it's submission. So I found myself wondering, well, what exactly am I supposed to be in submission to, or making myself available for? So I decided to use a tarot deck for that. And I used the OtherKin. And some of the cards I got in that reading, I'm not gonna show all of them because that would take too long. But the ones that really were powerful were the Hermit, the Moon, and the Three of Wands. Maybe I could squeeze these in. And that just made total sense to me. It really broadened my understanding of what Venus and Pisces means and what it means to me in particular. I find that the Black Moon astrology cards, and these are the Black Moon astrology cards, which is kind of a collage but has a very kind of spacey feel to it. I find them very evocative, but I also really enjoy pulling cards to clarify them and let me know what exactly are they pointing to. And I have found the OtherKin to be very good for those kinds of readings. Readings where I'm not asking about a specific thing, I'm asking more like a general feeling or a direction. And I totally got that with this reading. So I just wanted to share that. I've been really, really enjoying the OtherKin. And the OtherKin was also a deck gifted to me by Queen Osset, and I just am so grateful because I'm absolutely in love with it as well. So I wanted to share that. So that's this reading right here. My printer's not that great, so you can't, you know, it's hard to see the cards, but I can see them enough to remember what this reading was about. Okay, so that takes us to my setup for March. This is what it ended up looking like. It is, if I can go back and show you, it's different. It's a different setup slightly for me. So this is the setup that I've been using for a long time. The one thing I did incorporate were the weeks, and I kind of liked being able to see what I would be doing in those weeks. So I made them a little more prominent, but instead of, you know, putting them at the bottom, I kind of incorporated them into the calendar. So here you see week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and March is a long month, and so we have 5 weeks. What else? Oh, so I decided to do a big number at the top instead of the name of the month, because sometimes I have a tendency to forget what the number of the month is. So I thought, well, why not like focus on that? Here's my depth year goals still. This is the moon tracking. Then we have the spring equinox in the 3rd week of March. And then I also have the moon moving through different signs. And then this was the collage that I did for March. I'm really, really happy for it. Happy about it. This is not, I did not do this collage. This piece is an art It's an artist from England, I believe. She takes natural pieces of things that she finds, flowers and leaves, and she made this bird out of leaves. So this is a piece from a magazine. I just wanted to clarify that because I showed this piece to my sister and she thought I had done this, but I did not do that. So yeah, I'm really happy with this piece. It turned out really, really well. But it reminded me of a little bit of, I think I was starting to think about it when I did this one. And then, this one just came about. So that is my art piece for March. And then I've got my full moon and new moon, which obviously we haven't done yet because it's for March. This is my usual setup of purchases, tarot books, ideas, and then the spring equinox. I've got 3 questions I'm going to be answering. What needs balance? What is clear now? And how can you plan and pursue? I write these in pencil because sometimes I like to write them and then show the card that I pulled, and then write and pull or sometimes I just leave them like this, and then so that's why they're in pencil, just to leave it open as to what I'm going to do with that. Okay, so that's my setup, and those are some of the things that will be happening in March. I talked about the Black Moon Astrology cards, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and I wanted to share that I got this book off of Amazon. It's just a little notebook. It's really pretty, but it's not what I wanted. It doesn't lie flat. It's got dots on it, which is good. Yeah, so it didn't lie flat, and the paper is really absorptive, so the ink kind of runs a little bit. Anyway, I didn't want it to be a total loss, so what I ended up doing is I ended up orienting the book this way, and I write like that. I don't want to show what I'm writing because it's kind of personal, but anyway, I just wanted to share with you that, so I write this way and it's much more comfortable for some reason than writing this way. I just thought I would share that. So because I've been having so much trouble with, the whole nurture aspect of my depth here, it's really been tripping me up. I'm rereading this book, Imagine a Woman in Love with Herself. I think as you move through menopause, you do revisit things that you kind of thought were already done. They just come back again. So this has been really beautiful. It's a really beautiful book, and it's taken me this long. I'm almost 50 years old. It's taken me this long to actually understand what this title is pointing to, and really, be ready to actually do that and hear that. So that's been good. What else? I did a setup for my Arthurian course, and I've been I've really been enjoying that. This is a really cool notebook from Japan, and it lies completely flat. I think you would be writing, I'm pretty sure in Japanese you write right to left and up and down, so it would be going this way, I think. But anyway, I use it this way, and what I love about it is, it lies really flat, and everything about it can be recycled. So I'm definitely getting more of these, and I do like to, do art on the front of that. What else? So maybe I'll just, go through this deck some more. This, I think I've mentioned before in another video, a side by Look at that face. A side-by-side video with this OtherKin. But I have been blown away by how much I like this weird deck. When I say weird, it's a pretty high compliment because I am kind of weird myself. I like things that are strange. And actually, let's just talk about this card for a second. So when you first look at this, you might think, wow, that's like a really cut and dry portrayal of the Ten of Swords. But actually, when I see this, I often think the Ten of Swords, when I'm trying to interpret the Rider-Waite-Smith, you know, the person on the beach face down with 10 swords in their back. Usually, you know, that's like an ending. But for me, it's the ending of an idea because the swords are about thoughts and ideas. And for me, this peacock that has all these swords in it is perfect because I think of peacocks as very prideful and very full of ego. Not always. I mean, obviously they're also an emblem of Hera, which is a totally other symbol system. But for this card, I really do actually like how it's the peacock because the tens are about endings and about whatever is tied to this ego idea needs to be let go. And the green that's all in there, for me, that would speak to like envy. So anyway, this, I just wanted to share more of this deck because I'm just really smitten with it. It reminds me a little bit of almost like an Alice in Wonderland world because so many of the animals have kind of human-esque bodies, but then they have an animal head. And I really like that. I didn't think I was going to like, I mean, I like how the Fool has like no face. It's like invisible. And I always thought that that was their lips, but I think it's just supposed to be the leaves. Look at that bear. Like, he's cute, but there's also something a little like, not sinister, but I don't know, overindulgent about that. Look at his side eye. And that's great for the 4. So yeah, it's kind of whimsical and dark at the same time, which, well, but not dark. The palette is not dark, like the world is not dark, but there's kind of a darkness in it. And in that way, it reminds me a tiny bit of the Hush Tarot, just because from what I've seen of the Hush Tarot, it's very kind of dark, gothic, but like nature journal. It's like gothic combined with some amazing nature journal. That's what I think of when I see it. But even cards like the Sun, they're understated, but they relate so much. Interesting. There's still a lot to this deck that I'm still, that cracks me up. I'm still getting to know. But I thought I would flip through a few more of the cards because I love that. There's a lot of people, I don't think, well, I just haven't heard a lot of people talking about this deck. I don't have the Line Strider, but yeah, I'm really smitten. We'll just leave it there. Okay, yeah, I haven't been reading very much. I've been doing a lot of art because I finished the redraw that I did of the Shining Tribe. I'm going to just call my deck the Shining Glyph because a lot of the cards are very different from Rachel Pollack's. I'm going to be scanning the images and then, you know, printing my own deck to use. I'm really excited about it, but the scanning process I think is going to be kind of tedious. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that, but yeah, so that I really put my nose to the grindstone to get that done. And I got it done, and I'm so glad, because it started to feel not good to have that deck just kind of hanging over my head. I have been playing more with crystals, because I have been taking them out by color and setting them on the beautiful tray that I got from Havana from Sparkle Divine Creations. So this is Celestite, and this is Kyanite, this is Labradorite, this is Sodalite. I can't remember what this is. It's a blue, I think it's like a blue kind of calcite, but I really love it. And this is Angelite. This is Iolite. So I find that when I keep my crystals out, I have a tendency to just like hold them more. And that's been a lot of fun. This is Lapis Lazuli. And this is blue lace agate. What else? It's another piece of kyanite, and this is, what is this? Oh, this is apatite. It's a blue-green one. I only have a small piece of that. And this is a kind of a gemmy kyanite. So those are my blue gemstones, just crystals. I've been really enjoying them, reconnecting with my collection, and it's bringing me a lot of joy. I hope you're doing well. I hope you enjoyed this wrap up. I am trying to learn how to edit videos. I still have not learned how to fully edit. Like if I really mess up, I have not figured out how to cut that out, but I have figured out how to put intro text and exit text. So we're getting there slowly. Something new that I am learning. I hope you're doing well, like I said, and I will talk to you again soon.